She's going into convulsions. I have pulseless electrical activity in the systemic heart.
This is called Aquarium of the Dead. I picked it almost at random. After entering the words Asylum Films into YouTube, it was one of the first to come up. Apparently this is the third film in a trilogy of movies about zombie animals, called Zombies. I've not seen the other two films, nor do I much care to. For those who don't know, Asylum Films started back in the early days of DVD rental, making comedies and horror films released straight to disc, which sat largely unwatched on the lower shelves of your local Blockbuster Video. This was until Steven Spielberg announced he was going to make a big screen version of War of the Worlds. Asylum saw an opportunity and leapt for it. They made their own far cheaper version of the H.G. Wells classic, utilising a business model seen in many a British supermarket. Find a well-selling product, make something similar but cheaper, put them out together, hope people buy the wrong one. Asylum's biggest hit, culturally if not financially, has to be Sharknado, which premiered on the Sci-Fi Channel in 2013, and went on to spawn 5 sequels. I watched the first one and judged it to be as ludicrous as it was shoddy. I laughed a lot, sometimes at it, but maybe with it, as it did seem to have its tongue in its cheek. But now the franchise has concluded, is anyone still watching these films?
Too many of them. We're gonna need a bigger chopper.
Claudia, move! It's time to leave Kansas, mate.
While I can see they can be fun to laugh at in a post-pub wind-down with some friends, I can't imagine many people putting Sharktopus on because they actually want to see it. But why do I think that?
Watch out!
According to IMDb, Aquarium of the Dead was shot over 6 days during the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. To stay on schedule, your average Hollywood movie shoots what will end up as 2 minutes of screen time per day. With a runtime of 86 minutes, Asylum had to shoot 7 times that amount to deliver Aquarium of the Living Dead on time. Surely a filming schedule higher than your average soap opera is going to affect quality.
Feed me. Feed me! Feed me! Who said that? You said that. You said that? Feed me!
Little Shop of Horrors is a black comedy about a sentient plant which demands blood, which inspired a Broadway musical, an animated kids show, and one of the best remakes ever.
If I can talk and I can move, who's to say I can't do anything I want?
But the original film, directed by Roger Corman, was shot in just 2.5 days. 2 days in the studio and then a short night shoot and then done. In terms of visual style, it's a little flat, but it has real charm.
My name is Wilberforce. Wilberforce what? Just Wilberforce. My first name is Wilbur, my last name is Force. I don't have a middle name.
There is really no reason to think shooting fast automatically means the content isn't any good. But also by that metric it means that people who shoot 120 takes of every scene are not necessarily getting the best work from their actors. No names. David Fincher. Clint Eastwood rarely does more than 3 takes for any scene.
They just assume you're a professional, you know what to do.
Well, he doesn't do many takes, does he?
No, he doesn't. He's just like 1 or 2. So you're panicking. You're like, if I don't get this right, I'm not going to be on camera. And what they'll do is they'll just put the camera on the back of your head.
So why else does this film not cut the mustard? Well, the special effects leave a lot to be desired. I am unsure if this is a crocodile or an alligator, and it's probably not relevant seeing it's only in 2 shots. But there's this one where the low-rendered animal walks slowly towards camera, and then there's this one, where exactly the same animation is repeated.
Guys, look. Crush them, that's the only way to stop them.
All the monsters in this film look terrible. They don't even look like zombie animals, they just look like stock animations purchased on some Library Effects website. Either that or their post-production was done exclusively by Fiverr.
Dr. Menard.
What? What's wrong?
Matthias.
Matthias? Matthias, what?
His...
Why did you say it? You afraid to say it? Huh?
It's not that. I don't believe in voodoo.
I don't believe in voodoo either, but the natives around here do, so... So we investigate the phenomena, right?
This movie was called Zombie Flesh Eaters in the UK, but is also known as Zombie 2 in its native Italy, where it was released as a sequel to Dawn of the Dead. It's pretty standard zombie fare, and its monsters look like this. Just normal people with a bit of dirt and some very fake blood thrown at them. But it's easier to buy into as they're actually there. This is the third film of the Carnosaur franchise, in some territories called Carnosaurus, but because it's the first of the trilogy to be released in the UK, it was known by its subtitle here, Primal Species.
You saying they're getting smarter?
I thought I'd noticed growth in their abilities, but now they're making exceptional gains.
Well, that's real encouraging for us now, isn't it, Doctor?
I could only compare chromosomes between the last two generations.
You gotta be careful what you wish for, Doc. You may get it.
This film, as goofy as it is actually directed with a lot of style. But unlike Jurassic Park, the film from in which it is trying to cash, they don't have money for CGI. So the dinosaurs are puppets, or rather they are latex statues which they crudely puppeteer when there is no other way to film around it.
Hurry up! Hurry up!
It looks hokey as all hell when taken out of context, as I have done, but we only get glimpses of the dinosaurs shot in the half-light, and when you are invested in the story, that is enough to keep, well, me on board at least.
Are you okay? Can you help me? I didn't want to say anything because we had to go and move.
Oh my God!
We need to get the thing off of her now!
So what else is there? Well, there's its technical limitations, like the fact it's all shot on video. But you know, most things are shot on video these days. That's no reason for it to look bad. But let's look at the filmmaking side of it anyway. If you attend film school, they will tell you the biggest rule with regards to making a coherent film is not to cross the line of action, often referred to as crossing the line. To put this as simply as I can, you draw an imaginary line between your characters and stay one side of it. If you were shooting a conversation, you'd set up the cameras like this. So when it is filmed, one person will be looking off to the right of screen and the other person looking to the left, so when it's cut together they will look like they're facing each other. If you had one camera placed on the other side of the line, then it would look like they're facing the same direction. It's a really simple rule, but when you start making movies, it's a hard one to remember.
Come on.
This is Abel Ferreira's infamous grimy slasher film The Driller Killer, and in this scene it crosses the line every time it goes to a close-up of the drill, and I don't think anyone who's got 36 minutes into this movie would ever care that left to right scene continuity has been broken. Stanley Kubrick crossed the line all the time. Some people will argue on purpose. Either way, technical deficiencies does not a bad film make. And to be fair to Aquarium of the Dead, it doesn't actually have a great deal of technical issues. It was shot fairly cleanly, I always understood who was where, and I didn't spot any instances of crossing the line. And yet, I still didn't enjoy it, whilst really enjoying movies of equal or worse quality. Why is that? Well, to me, the problem is this film, much like a lot of Asylum's output, is it lacks any sort of passion. When you watch trashy films like Zombie Flesh Eaters or The Mountain of the Cannibal God, you can tell, while not high art, these people really love the films they make. When it comes to Asylum Pictures, it feels like they're just knocking out another one. In which case, why bothering? Making films is hard. Are these films making enough profit to make the venture worthwhile? I doubt it, seeing I found a copy on YouTube with 270,000 unpaid views. I am loath to call this shit, as shit used to be better than this. This is worse than shit. It's boring. And given the choice of the two, I'd take shit. I'm Scott Kingsnorth, and I'm making a movie.